Okay, hello y'all. So today I'm going to be showing y'all how to propagate some hanging plants, or as I like to call them by their proper name, is golden
Propagate a
pothos.
plant is either overgrowth or you want to make a new plant, so you want to make some clones out of it, or you just, yeah. So basically, those are one of the main reasons why you propagate. Also, too, whenever there's any diseases on any kind of plants and all that kind of good stuff, you want to make sure that you take all that other stuff and make a new plant, I guess. But right here, I have two of these things where this is called a spider plant, and this is called a golden pothos. Both of which are hanging plants, just because they drip. You can put them on like hanging vases, and they'll look very beautiful, and it's very easy to make these plants. And the way that they do it at nurseries and stuff like that is they take cuttings of several different pieces, for example of the golden pothos, and they make a plant out of it. So alright, so now in this one, you can tell that my roots are like very moldy. I went home for like a few weeks, and I wasn't watching this plant in specific, and then and it became very moldy. So we're gonna show you how to propagate it once again, and then set it back in the water. So you can propagate hanging plants and actually put them in water, and they'll grow a new root system, which will then you can then transfer into soil. And usually it'll take about 2 to 3 weeks. But actually, you can actually leave the golden pothos in the water, and they'll make excellent decorations around your house. And I'm going to show you some decorations at the end of some of my own personal golden pothos. Just kidding, don't run with scissors. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to start. Okay, so first of all, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut away all these extra roots that are moldy and honestly are just not beneficial for this plant. And in the end, your plant could potentially die from just mold and just not being taken care of. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and just cut these roots off, just to kind of show you what it would look like when you like first take it off a plant. So golden pothos are like hanging plants or like vine plants, so they grow extremely long. Fun fact, my mom actually had one that actually wrapped around our whole living room. She had it since she was very young. And so you can actually take cuttings from big large plants who are overgrown or just too big for their pot, and actually just make cuttings out of them, put them in some water, and they'll be good to go. So before I get back off the topic, you cut off all of that, and then you want to, wherever those roots are, you kind of want to open it up. You want to kind of like give it a little bit of an entrance to where water can come out, and actually a root will start coming out of there in about a few days. If you put some rooting hormone in it, it would actually start like to sprout, and like overnight you'll start having some roots. But since I'm an all natural person, we are going to wait for this one. Okay, so obviously this water is disgusting, and this is your clone already, and it's ready to go ahead and just set in water just like this. I know this water is a little bit dirty, but you just set it in and it'll start to root. So I'm gonna show you some of my decorations. Although they are in alcohol bottles, I do not advertise the consumption of alcohol to minors, since we are freshmen in college, okay? So these are just some of my own personal decorations, and yeah. So this one is one of the ones that I propagated about 5 months ago, and you can see the large roots all coming down the middle and all the way down, and it's just so beautiful. It hangs so it just fits this bottle correctly. You can do it in anything, and if you actually wanted to, you can actually plant this into some soil and into a pot, and it'll even grow to an even bigger, beautiful plant. And then I also have this one in this bottle, and you can actually see the root system and all that kind of good stuff. And it's a perfect bottle for this plant, just because it's a lot thicker stem, and it wants to have a lot of roots, and in the future this will be full of roots, and it'll be ready to transplant into another pot as well. And then I have my own personal favorite. I love this one. I actually got all of these cuttings since they were like little babies. So I've actually watched them grow before my eyes, and I've watched them actually look very beautiful. And this one's my favorite because it actually shows what a golden potho does. It hangs, correct? And isn't that beautiful? And you can actually see all the different colors and all the new growth that's going on it. There is some damage to the foliage on top, but other than that, this one's so beautiful. The roots are healthy in the water. There's no mold in the water, and this is just my own personal favorite. Okay, so that is how you propagate some plants. A very simple way to just kind of during this quarantine, just do something. If your mom has some houseplants that are just overgrown and they look a little hideous, just take some cuttings, take some clones, especially if they're a golden pothos, a philodendron, a spider plant, all those different kind of houseplants that you can propagate very easily. Go ahead and do it. I recommend it. I personally have a green thumb and I love it so much. I love my plants. In the past, I've had hundreds of plants and I just love to propagate, and that's just one of those things that I love to do. And I hope that y'all learned how to do it today with very simple plants. And yeah, thank you so much, and y'all have a great day.